everybody, welcome to Utah Music Producers. I am here today at Pale Horse Sound with Greg Downs. Been looking forward to doing this interview and studio tour with Greg. Greg and I go back to the old Cache Valley days. He used to play in a band called Sand. And we used to play at a really amazing venue called Sultan's Tavern. And right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And he is now in Pleasant Grove and has an awesome studio. And he just opened this, official opening was what?
Yeah, we just had a grand opening just a couple weeks ago.
Okay, cool. And I know he's kind of been producing stuff off and on here for the last, probably since you were in Cache Valley too, in Smithfield, huh?
Oh yeah, I mean on and off, I'd say the last 15 years.
Yeah.
Just eking records out of the house, or I've been involved with other studios before, but this is my first big tank out myself. So.
Cool, awesome. So let's just kind of talk about your background, why you got into this. Oh, actually, I was going to ask you about the name of the studio first. So I thought that was a pretty interesting name.
It branches back. For me, Pale Horse has always been kind of a integral underlying thing. Shout out to JC. But it's when we were in Sand, the name of our van and our publishing company was Pale Horse.
Okay.
Because we, of course, as a rock band, we thought of it as, it was delivering the four horsemen of the apocalypse.
Yeah, especially with Sand.
Yeah,
you guys
right?
really were.
Yeah. So that kind of just stuck in the back of my head, and as we were trying to come up with names for the new place, of course that was in the running, just because it's always kind of popped its head up in different spots in my career and in my life, and then looking at the new studio and kind of the different, we wanted it to have a feel that kind of was a little bit more of a throwback to more organic things and the animal side of it, and having a horse, and that just kind of struck a chord with me because I
Plus the name, I think it's unique enough that people remember it.
Yeah.
I didn't forget what the name of your
It's a
studio
horse
was.
head.
It's a horse head. It's a white horse.
I mean, I'm a graphic designer also, so things that are super modern really appeal to me, but I just didn't want this to be... We're not that kind of studio. We're not super, not a ton of white and clean edges. It's kind of down dirty, and we're all about being creative, so...
Yeah. So talk to me about how you got started in music. When you just start playing guitar and
that's going back.
That kind of,
So I started playing guitar in probably 95, 96, which was, if you remember, the prime time to be a guitar player.
Yeah.
Was just anything from 93 to 98 was great guitar bands coming out, and my old man took me to my first concert, which was Van Halen at the Delta Center.
Yep.
And it was over from there. I had to be a guitar player. When I saw him playing the drill solo, so I had to play guitar. And so that kind of got me into music, and a lot of the sound stuff just kind of followed.
Yeah.
So live sound, I've been engineering for almost 20 years. Next year will be 20 years doing live sound, but that came as necessity from wanting to have professional big PAs at our shows, but we were kids, and so thanks to Mike Jones at Voyager, Mike, he would come drop off a PA, charge us very little because we're a bunch of high school kids, and then showed me how to hook it up and run it a couple times, and it was like, well, I can do it real cheap for you so you can do these shows, but I'm just going to drop off the rig.
Yeah. And
that turned into, hey, we're short-handed. I know you've set up that rig about 20 times for your band, so how about you come and help me out, and I'll give you some money.
Yeah.
And that just kind of followed, my whole live sound career just kind of started there and blossomed up from there. And studio stuff's the same way. John Craig was one of my first recording experiences when I was 13. He recorded a song for me for a girl I really liked for Valentine's Day. And he got me hooked on recording, so he couldn't get rid of me. Him and Cody were doing a lot of recording at the rehearsal space up there, and at John's studio in Smithfield, and I was just always trying to hang out and learn stuff. And
It's cool to see where everyone that's from up in Cache Valley, where they've kind of ended up doing this. Like Rob McWhorter is now doing sound for Lindsey Sterling.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
front of house, which is what a cool gig for him.
Oh, yeah. Traveling the world.
And people, traveling the world. And people, I think people that were from up there, people are just kind of still doing it. And whatever they do, they just love doing it. So it's kind of fun to see that Greg's got his studio here and he's loving what he's doing. And
yeah, it's still trucking, trying to do the composer thing, producing bands, recording, playing when I can.
Cool.
A little bit of everything, so.
Well, let's talk about this awesome piece of equipment right behind us real quick. Like, where'd you get this?
The TV.
Yeah, the TV.
It was a sale at Best Buy.
It's an insignia.
Yeah. So it's extra cheap.
Yeah. No, this thing is like just classic. It's just so cool looking.
Yeah, it's a Trident 24. I've been doing a lot of stuff out of the house the last few years.
Right.
And I really, when I started doing live sound and started recording, it was on, we were on ADATs.
Yeah.
But you still had consoles, you still did mix downs. Mm-hmm. So you had a guitar player over on the end that was in charge of boosting up his solo just a little bit so you could get the panning just right. Yeah. Bounce it all down. And, a lot of the live consoles now are really small and digital, and I just I've always felt a lot more at home on a big analog console.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the top on my priority list, especially when you're looking at trying to get a lot of high quality preamps and stuff. It starts, the more you try and do it, starts to make more and more sense to actually get a console, because
there's just a whole bunch of preamps in the
console. So we got 36 preamps on this one,
and all the EQ and everything that's in here. And
and the EQ I really like on this board, and it's got 24 tape outs, and I mean this was made in the same year I was born, same month, so it's old.
Cool.
But it's I got it from a composer.
I think I'm older than you.
Yeah, 1981 October. But
wow.
I got it from a composer in Nashville,
cool.
And he's done a lot of film stuff, and he's had an interesting life. So this console's got an interesting history. Everything.
Did you build this little keyboard thing, or was that already?
He built it himself. He's a bit of a woodworker, so he built a little keyboard tray, and
it's cool.
But it's seen Emmylou Harris and Bela Fleck, and
that's awesome.
A lot of he's been in Nashville a long time, and different projects he's been involved with movies and things. He also writes songs with a lot of these artists, and they'll come in, and so it's got a little bit of mojo in there hiding out. Cool.
Oh yeah, dude! When I saw that you had this, I was like, Greg's getting serious. What kind of monitors are you running?
So these are the Adams. I'm so bad with gear. I'm definitely not a tech head.
Come on, man.
It's the S3XH.
You just knew they sounded good and you ordered them.
Well, I demoed them when we went to pick up the console. We had to stop at a Vintage King to see their shop.
Yeah. In Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the few places that you can actually try stuff like this out. And so I demoed a lot of mains that I really liked, but they were all 10K plus.
Oh yeah. Like the Barefoots.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so these little guys were sitting in the corner, had just come in on a trade-in used, weren't set up, they were just back in the corner.
Right.
And I was like, so tell me the deal with those. Those look like they might be more in my price range. And they set them up for me, and we tried them out, and I really liked them. I needed something I've got a bad habit of monitoring way too loud. I'm a rock guy, and a lot of the bands that are in are rock bands.
I remember.
Yeah.
You were a crunchy rhythm guitar player in Sand.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which was great.
So I needed something. I've had the KRKs a really long time, and that's what I'm, really used to. I'm still kind of getting used to the Adams, but I just needed something a little larger, really, to kind of fill the room, but wanted some more high fidelity and a little bit better mix situation. And so I'm still getting used to them, but
almost every studio I've been to has had some kind of Adams in them. So cool, man. And then you got the KRKs, and then this is Greg's rack in his control room. Why don't you just talk about what you're using and what you're using for what? Like, I see that you've got a 610 here. Yeah. What are you mostly doing with that?
I really like that on kind of mellower vocals. I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't used it as much as I thought I might when I picked it up.
Right.
I really like it on bass, DI. When I'm gonna DI a bass or vocals, I like it on. I've noticed I've got a Telefunken tube vocal mic.
Oh, cool.
When I paired it up with this, the top end's weird.
Really?
I don't know if it's a tube on tube thing.
Might be.
So I really like to use it with the 7B, the Shure.
Oh yeah.
You know, with dynamic stuff for vocals.
Yeah.
This is a really nice pair with that.
And then what's this? What's this right here?
So this is a
Oh, the Chandler.
yeah, it's just a little Chandler germanium.
Cool.
My favorite, and I discovered this 10 years ago at Rob's studio. My favorite channel strip for guitars ever is a Chandler, a Distressor, and a Royer ribbon just buried into the grill.
Really? Cool. It's good to know.
And I just fell in love with it, and that's been on my bucket list
Forever, and now you have it.
forever. Yeah, so
That's cool.
And I've been building these up over the last several years, and so I've been having a lot of fun with those at the house. But yeah, the Chandler and the Distressor with the Royer on guitars is killer.
And I just got one of these. You've got two of them.
I got this. I really like the silk on these.
Yeah.
And I really got it just to have a clean, matched pair.
Yeah.
Are
you doing overheads with that?
Yeah, I mostly use it with overheads. I'll do it on the piano, stuff that I don't maybe want quite as much color as the Trident gives me with those pre's. So I don't have a lot of outboard stuff. It's just really kind of the whole theme here is it's all really cherry picked off my personal
Experience.
favorites. Yeah. And to help me do what I do, and then we make it work for stuff that might fall out of scope.
And you're just running Pro Tools.
Yeah, I've got I favor Logic, but I've got Logic and Pro Tools.
Yeah.
Running the newest on both, and I jumped off of Pro Tools about a decade ago.
Did you?
Well, no, I guess it was more like 8 years ago,
Yeah.
7-8 years.
Yeah.
And because I was doing a lot of live stuff,
Right.
and so I moved to Ableton.
Okay.
And then started getting into more composing and doing stuff for film, and that got me into Logic because I thought it had kind of better video options.
Right.
And I just fell in love with Logic, and so I still prefer Logic myself, but we do have Pro Tools, so if we're doing stuff with other studios, and
Cool.
I'm trying to kick the rust off of Pro Tools and get
Yeah.
get back to where I
into
was
it.
back in the day.
And Greg and I talked earlier, but he has this awesome. He doesn't have a window in his control room, but he went to Home Depot?
Best Buy.
Best Buy, sorry. Best Buy. Sorry, Home Depot.
I think they have them at Home Depot too.
Yeah, hold on. So Greg has this awesome surveillance video in case anyone tries to break into the studio. Actually, no. Why don't you talk about why you got it?
Dual purpose. You know, originally we were going to do studio windows, but I found it extremely hard to find people that would take my money to do it. So after
too busy building houses?
yeah, so it was a bit of a frustration, but I just decided, screw it. I'll grab a cheap video system for now to get us by so we can start doing projects. And I've actually really, really liked it. You know, we put it in a few rooms. It's nice to see people, you know, coming in the front. Or the funnest it's been is watching some of the bands. We'll be in here tracking, and the guys that are done tracking and taking a break will be out here doing crazy stuff, and we're all in here laughing hysterically watching them. They have no idea.
That's cool.
You know, you pop in and watch the drummer.
I don't have a window in my place either, so I need to do at least one camera out to my control room, I think.
So it just kind of helps me keep an eye on, you know, if mics are dipping, or, you know, you can tell a lot from, you know, recording people. It's 90% psychology, and you can tell a lot from body language, what
they're doing.
If they're comfortable, what's going on.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
This is, the Wildcat's one thing that's a flavor that when people come in, a lot of times they don't have, and they'll end up being surprised.
So this is an Epiphone Wildcat?
Yeah.
Okay. It looks really cool.
So it's got the
really
P90s.
Nice.
I
Do you care if I grab it?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
It doesn't play very well, but it's I wanted a semi-hollow body with a Bigsby on it to get kind of that Buddy Miller.
I bet if you had it set up by somebody,
Oh yeah, and
way
it's
better.
It's been good. I end up using it quite a bit for more special effecty or on verses, trying to mellow it out and stuff. And the bass, I just have a couple basses for options, and
Just as Fender Jazz.
yeah, I've got a Squire in there that actually I've had, gosh, probably 15 years.
Like a Squire Jazz.
I think it's a Squire P-Bass copy or whatever, but it's super cheap, but it sounds really good. So I kind of lucked out that way. They feel kind of cheap, but the sound is great, and so I'll use them a lot myself on composing stuff or production music. And
I have a Squire jazz bass. Sounds great.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not a bass player, and I had a guy that plays bass in one of the bands I'm in set it up for me, so it plays great now too. I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah.
The frets aren't as polished as you know if you spend more money.
It's not quite the same feel, but it's. You'd be surprised
sound.
how much they end up on records in
I
here.
know.
And so this is kind of these live here most of the time. When projects come in, I'll bolt those, and if we're doing guitar tracks, we'll bring a couple in. But that's kind of gets me through most of my production music stuff between the MIDI keyboard and
Perfect.
those two guitars. And
it's nice to just be able to grab, like right here, the things you're going to use the most right here in my hand.
Yeah, they get the most action, and I like on both of these have the high Z input. And so when I'm doing direct stuff like the UA,
so you're going into the UA,
yeah, like
the Apollo,
yeah, like the UA Friedman stuff.
Yeah,
sounds really good. And for a lot of the production music and composing stuff, instead of setting up amps, miking, I've been doing a lot of direct stuff, way more than I ever have before.
Yeah, the technology's getting there, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
And even I'll end up doubling. Because I like to do a lot of guitar tracks, but we'll have a real Friedman or an orange half stack, or someone will bring in something really cool and we'll track it, and then we'll double up and we'll do a direct line
some stuff. Yeah. I mean, I've bought some cheap pedals just on Amazon that have amp model in them.
Oh yeah.
You run them through a good pre.
Well, these days I try not to. I always record a direct line. Whether it's bass or guitar, just have more options later because they are getting so good with the direct. Sometimes I'll get all the way to a mix and decide, I wish that the gain was a little bit backed off on the amp.
Are you using some plug-in modelers for guitars too, or just like reamping or?
Well, the Friedman stuff, the Universal Audio Friedman stuff. They have what's like a metal amp room too that I've been liking a lot, and I've always been a fan of Guitar Rig. Is cool. The Logic amp stuff is crazy.
I think I have Amplitude, and there's another one called I demoed it. It's called S Gear by Scuff'em, I think. I've heard about it on Gear Sluts, and I demoed it, and I just haven't dropped the coin. I loved it. I loved it better than any plug-in guitar room amp simulator on a computer that you can get.
Nice.
But I just haven't dropped a coin on it because I haven't had it. Hasn't been necessary.
Yeah.
So anyway, cool.
Yeah.
We are in Greg's live room, tracking room here. And why don't you just tell us about some of the stuff you have, drums.
Yeah, we've got a modest amount of backline stuff, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
It's similar to the gear we have in the control room. It's all very cherry picked for kind of. I mean, obviously we do all sorts of music here,
right?
But if you know me, it's
rock and roll,
guitar records, and so a lot of the stuff is kind of geared towards that. So we have a house kit. It's like a Gretsch maple. It's actually a 7-piece, but other toms are hiding out. So it's kind of more oriented towards the same kind of sound.
Big fat snare on his drum here, and I learned about these at Scott Wiley's studio.
Those are great.
So I've never. I'm not a drummer. I'm not a drummer, so don't judge. Yeah, those sound cool, man.
Kind of a fat dead.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then you've got a. I'll get this on video later, but you've got a Roland Octopad? Or what is this?
That's the SPDX, I think.
A sampling pad.
Yeah.
Cool.
and just a little kick trigger for it.
Yeah.
So it's that ends up getting more personal use for me. Like
Yeah.
it floats, so sometimes it'll be in here. I use it a lot in the control room because I'm not a great drummer, but when I'm doing production music or composing stuff, I can do, if I'm doing drum loops and stuff, it makes it a lot easier.
So one thing I remember about Greg was that he had. Weren't you playing Marshall Stack or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
TSL.
Yeah. Was it okay? Cool. And and it probably had a lot to do with the sound guy too. But Sand always just sounded so amazing to me.
Well, it was
in your face. It was just like I was just like, how come I can't get that tone?
It was 3 parts. I was on a TSL.
Yeah.
Cody was on a triple rectifier.
Right.
And then the third would be Rob.
Yeah, Rob.
So we had a front of house guy that knew what he was doing.
And Rob's the guy that's doing Lindsey Sterling's. He's the front of house, but he is a rock guy.
Well, even when we were playing clubs with 5 people there for no money, we always traveled with the sound guy, and it was just an expense to us to.
Heck yeah, because you guys always sounded killer, even at Sultan's.
That's what happens when you have two sound guys in the band, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so how long have you had this Bad Cat?
That I've had for maybe a year.
Cool. Is it just a 110 or what is it?
It's a 112.
112? Oh, cool.
It's this little 5 watt.
That's awesome, man. You like it?
Yeah, I like it a lot. I use it a lot on, I guess in the territory that a lot of people would use, like twin reverb.
Right on.
It's but it breaks up a little bit more.
Cool.
Which tends to be good for me. It's kind of thick but still clean enough to get some nice tone out of.
And then the Mesa Boogie 550 Express.
And this I've had for, probably 10 years.
Yeah, it seems like I saw some pictures on Facebook or something that you had this.
And I will say that's one of the most versatile guitar amps
I've
ever owned. Like we'll do super clean stuff on it, and then we'll do stuff with a metal band.
Just a 212?
Yeah, it's just a 212. It's an open back, and it's crazy the range of tones we've gotten to all sound great.
Yeah.
So that's
awesome.
probably my indispensable. I'll keep that thing forever.
And then you got a Marshall.
Yeah, a little Class 5.
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
And that's a
Few studios have
similar.
those.
It's really similar to the Bad Cat, tone wise. Only it seems to break up a little more,
and then,
in kind of a 70s Marshall kind of way.
What's this little?
This is a little silver tone that we found at a antique shop in Seattle, and it actually the fuse housing broke, and so I got to try and find a way to fix that, because it works if you stick a bubble gum wrapper in it. Don't do that at home, kids.
A piece of sticky gum in there.
Yeah. But it's I'm trying to be careful with it so I don't kill myself. But
good idea.
It's a cool little. It just sounds kind of junky.
Yeah.
They've got a little miniature. It's my Cabbage Patch orange.
Oh yeah, the orange. I saw that.
And that head sounds amazing through the Mesa cab.
Oh.
So I'll pop it in line. It's got kind of more of a Randall.
Wow, that's cool.
Solid state kind of stuff, because it's a tube pre, but solid state power
so you can
amp
just
on
pop
that.
the speakers out and plug it into that.
Yeah, so I'll just pop the cab plug and plug it into that, and it sounds
then
super cool.
You got a little DI find up here, a little keyboard. What is that thing?
That's a little pump organ.
A little General Electric?
Yeah, so when you plug it in, it's got a little cylinder that rotates and it pushes air through it, so it's almost like a crank powered recording.
It looks like an
thing.
IKEA organization unit that you bought there.
There's a lot of IKEA jams in here.
IKEA is the place for studio owners, right?
Oh yeah, it's furniture, and it doesn't look bad, and it's cheap.
Yeah, I've got some IKEA.
That's the way to go.
And then over here, I didn't look at this, but you got the cello in the corner. You play cello?
I'm learning. I got through beginner book 1. It's a stringed instrument I always wanted to play, and in the past we've done a lot of string stuff with Philip Peterson, who's a guy out in Seattle, and it's always amazing. And I'm about 10 years away from being able to play well, but I'm learning. There's no time like the present. So.
Oh, and then bass amp over here. Ampeg?
Yeah, it's just a little Ampeg 210.
Cool.
And it just we end up relying a lot on the DI, for a lot of the stuff we've been doing, but I always like to get a second amp tone that's a little more mic'd with the presence, and that seems to have done the trick really well so far. It doesn't get super cranking, but it sounds good.
Cool. Right on. And then Greg's done a beautiful job with the lights in here, and then also he's got a lot of really good bass traps that look really professionally made. But I think that you actually did some do-it-yourself stuff.
Oh yeah, those are all DIY.
And I like the chalkboard.
And that was an open window. This used to be a karate dojo, and so I think people's parents would come and stand there and watch their kids flip each other and kick each other in here. And so instead of putting a window in, we just decided to put a chalkboard. So in here we can do a tracking grid, so we can mark off what we got complete and whatnot. And then
Awesome.
bands like to draw pictures on the other side out there. And
Greg's a guitar player. So why don't you just talk about some of the guitars you've got here?
so it's a similar theme to the rest of the studio.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a
Cherry
ton.
picked stuff.
Yeah, I don't have a ton of guitars, but
Yeah.
I have my personal collections here.
Yeah.
And so,
Les Paul Special.
yeah, it's just a little. I really like the P90s on this one,
Yeah.
and it's not quite as high gainy as
What
the
were
regular
you-
humbuckers.
What guitar were you using in Sand back in the day? The Schecter? You still have that?
Yep, I replaced. This is a Dragon 2 from
Yeah.
a PRS,
Yeah.
and then this soap bar pickup. When you go to that, it actually sounds a ton like a Strat.
Right.
So most of the heavy stuff, I mean, that's got a PRS Dragon 2 in it. And I was also using, I designed a guitar with Kevin.
Yeah. From KSM.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I played that a lot too. Went in a couple weeks ago, we were on vacation in Cache Valley, me and my wife. And
Vacation in Cache Valley?
yeah, right? Providence Inn, baby. But we,
thing's awesome.
I went in
dude.
there and played it a while because it was, I was getting nostalgic.
This thing really is a flying V because it feels like it could fly. It's so light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Where'd you
lightweight.
get this
That my buddy Clay gave to me,
That's cool, man.
and it's a beast. It recently fell victim to some
Oh, yeah.
tuning peg, but I had another band came in and noticed it, and they said, "Hey, we noticed you broke your tuning peg, so we got you
They give
some."
you one. Yeah. And it looks like you've replaced one here already.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
kind of a botch job, but it's
Yeah, I don't-
that guitar sounds awesome. It's
Yeah.
it's king of super thick.
So cool looking, too. What's this little... Is this a dobro type of
Yeah, it's
What
a
is
little it's just a little lap steel.
lap steel? Gotcha.
So it's
Cool.
got P90 in it.
Do you know how to
too.
play that? All right, so looks like you got a little Rogue Mando, which I've never played one of these. Are they pretty good, or
Not bad. I'm not.
do you use it very much?
I don't use it a ton.
Yeah.
That's actually my wife's.
Oh, it is? Right on.
Yeah, and she lends
plays
us
it,
some
huh?
gear from time to time, which is nice. So I plunk. For me,
Your wife lends you gear.
isn't that crazy?
That's a good. That's
But for me, it's more
Cool
like
quote.
like for composing or for production music. You know, if I need
Yeah.
just a little sound, I don't know how to play it
yeah.
like good, but if you need some kind of weird,
That's delicious.
just a little
I can't
odd
remember. Was
melody.
this just like this, or was it hanging?
Oh, it's just sideways. It's
Chisel.
yeah, it kind of tucks in there.
And then it looks like you got a nice little Martin here. I don't know who it's signed by.
It's Emerson Hart.
Oh yeah, I know Emerson Hart. Yeah,
He's one of my favorite songwriters.
Okay, so he's the guy from Tonic.
Yeah.
One of my favorites too. In fact, we used to cover "Open Up Your Eyes" by Tonic, and I played it for years.
He's got one of the most amazing voices ever
Yeah,
live.
Yeah.
Like I've mixed him a couple times, and what you hear just right straight out of the microphone
From him.
is like
Yeah,
amazing.
I saw him open for Collective Soul down at Saltaire,
Nice.
and he's like, he played "If You Could Only See," and he had to say, people come up to me after I sing this and say, "Hey, you sound just like the guy that sings that." And he has to say, "I am the guy
am the
that
guy."
sings that."
I'm a bit of an mojo collector. Like I believe in kind of the songs and the spirit
Yeah.
that travels with music, and so I
Yeah.
like to. For me, it's not so much can I have your autograph kind of thing. It's
Yeah.
it's the best way to get a little bit of mojo from someone. So
Heck
he kind of blessed this guitar.
Yeah, that's awesome though.
And I've got, Jerry Cantrell picks or Lemmy
Yeah.
picks or different things from bands that I've worked with over the years.
That's
doing
cool that you-
live sound.
It's cool that you like Emerson Hart because he's one of my favorites too.
Oh
So
yeah, he's
that's cool.
amazing.
Then you've got a little banjo here.
I got a regular banjo that I spent about 2 months trying to learn how to play.
Yeah.
And I got tired of it wrecking my mind because I've been playing guitar for
Oh yeah.
almost 20 years. And so learning it's kind of like when I play Guitar Hero. I don't know if you're the same way. I suck at Guitar Hero.
I hate Guitar Hero. I
'Cause
won't
it's
play
not
it. I'd rather play drums on Guitar Hero. Do you know what I'm saying? Or
So
band Hero. Or
So I've
whatever it
still
is.
got that, and occasionally I'll get someone in that knows how to play.
Yeah.
But so I resorted to the banjitar.
I did that too.
So I could handle
Yeah.
handle
That's
it.
a nice little Gretsch banjitar too.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
Love the banjitars.
It ends up on a lot of things too, and not really anything you would expect it to.
Yeah.
Like this, the last thing I recorded this on was a Nine Inch Nails cover.
Oh, cool.
That was kind of a heavy, for a group I was doing some cover songs for.
Most
so-
people won't be able to tell the difference from the banjitar to the banjo unless you're playing like Ricky Skaggs or
Yeah.
something.
That's why I like to get my buddy Kyle in because he's from
He can
Kentucky
play it.
and he plays really well.
And you got a little classical, it looks like over here, Ivan.
Yeah, just a little nylon string.
We are in. This is the lounge area. Why don't you just take us a little tour of the lounge, Greg?
Lounge. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess so this is what keeps us going, especially on like the 4-day straight sessions.
Yeah.
Because we got the microwave, fridge, burritos, and most importantly the coffee maker
Yep.
for hot chocolate, tea, coffee, printer. We got goodies and treats. There's burritos in the freezer. It kind of keeps us going in emergencies. There's a lot of cool places to eat around here, but that's a lot of times we'll just throw some burritos in and keep working.
And so it looks like this used to be some kind of like front office.
Yeah, I think
area
originally
here.
this is where people would come to maybe pay their karate bill.
Oh yeah, the karate studio. Now the recording studio.
And so we thought about taking the window out, but we thought, it might be cool to have in some instances. I don't know.
You never know. Yeah.
You never know. So we just left it.
Then here's the other side of the chalkboard, which used to be a window for the karate studio.
Yeah.
And you got a cool couch and some amazing flat screen, so the talent can watch whatever they want, right?
And we can airstream stuff from the control room. So if they want to watch the Logic session or Pro Tools as we're going, it's pretty easy. But usually it's just a nice place to decompress. So if you've just spent a bunch of time doing drum tracks, you can come out here and watch Netflix or something, or play Xbox while you're trying to unwind, or we'll all sit in here and eat lunch and watch movies or something as a break.
And then some art. Is any of this stuff like...
This is all artwork by my wife, Miranda Whitlock.
Cool. Where's your wife from?
She's from Cache Valley also.
I know some Whitlocks over in Box Elder. Is she related to any of those guys?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, so all the artwork. Well, this is a gift, a print from one of her friends. It's an artist because we like to try and get prints of theirs, and so she kind of rotates the art through. So it's almost like a slow motion gallery.
Cool.
So as you come, if you're a return client, you get to see a little bit different art each time you come in, and
very cool.
she's trying to help class up the place. So thanks, babe.
Yeah, the wives
Keep it
usually do that.
classy, yeah.
And then I see some Pale Horse t-shirts.
Yeah, we've got we're prepping some merch right now to do shirts and hats and all sorts of stuff. But our neighbor next door, Joey, runs a business called Incredibles.
Is that what the sign is on the
on the side
over here?
there.
Okay, yeah.
So he's the neighbor here, and he does awesome merchandise. He does a lot of band T-shirts and stuff. So he just helped us out and helped us whip together some shirts to get us started. And
cool. Then
we just got a bunch of old magazines and books. Like, the great thing is I've got a really good collection of Guitar Player magazine that started in about 94, 95. So it's fun to flip through those.
Heck yeah, see all the old gear and stuff.
It's like Smashing Pumpkins articles, and it's it's fun.
So we are in Greg's kind of like just your dead room, I guess.
That's called the dead room because the live room's got some more control reverb in this room. The idea was just to have it be quiet, and so it's sound blankets and drapes, and the whole place is drop ceiling, but this section of drop ceiling actually has this much insulation as well. Yeah. So it really this is the cocoon room. Cool. So we like to do piano in here, obviously, and vocals. A lot of the time, I like to put guitar cabs in here.
And a baby grand. How long have you had this?
This we've only had for a couple months.
That's awesome, man.
I guess a month.
And what mics? Looks like you got some blue.
I've been experimenting. Yeah, these are the Bluebirds. Yeah. I've been experimenting with some ribbons or some like pencil condensers, and so far I'm liking the Bluebirds the best. The thing that really sold me on this piano is it came out of a broadcast studio. Right. And so the soundboard actually has 4 pickups mounted on it. Oh, and so on the bottom, there's actually 4 quarter-inch jacks. Oh, wow. And so I can do DIs at any point and blend it in with the mics. And so that's given a really big, solid low end like a keyboard, but then blending in the mics. Gotcha.
Are you doing your vocals in here too?
Yeah.
And then you said sometimes you put cabinets in here?
Yeah, I like to do guitar cabs in here. So there's a speaker cable running from the control room. Right. And so we'll stack heads in the control room, and the guitar player will sit in there with me, but then we'll put cabs in here.
And this speaker up here, is this your talk back from the control room?
That's actually leftovers.
Is it left over?
I'm not sure what they were doing. Yeah.
But is it just? Are you just talking through headphones to clients, or do you have like a
just through. I've got the hearback system.
Gotcha.
So that's in each of the rooms, so they can do their own mix for headphones. But the console's just got a talkback mic on it, so I'll just do talkback that way. Cool. Through the headphones. And
awesome. And then what mic's this?
That's a Telefunken Copperhead, I think it's called.
Oh, nice. Is it tube or is it
just... Yeah, it's
nice?
tube.
It's small for a tube mic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a lot of the guts for it's over there on the floor.
Gotcha, yeah. Okay.
So I think that helps on the size.
Yeah.
But
well, I've got a Rode tube mic, and it's like this big thing, So when I saw this, I'm like, oh, is that a tube mic? And Telefunken.
Yeah, it's compact. Cool, it does the trick.
And then Greg's got some really mood-setting lights in here that I bet his wife picked out. No, I don't know.
No comment.
Just kidding. But yeah, and then he's got Billie Holiday.
That's courtesy of my wife too.
Over here, some songbooks.
She helps keep it classy.
This place is classy, dude. I'm loving it.
She's a piano player also, and so
she,
she'll come, and if I've got to do some mixing, she'll come shut herself in here and bleed on the piano a little bit. While I work on some mixes.
Cool. Well, anything else you want to tell us about your studio or?
I'm really excited. We're new.
Philosophy.
We got a few projects that are going to start coming out from here that we're really excited about. But really, this place is kind of really a reflection of how I do music, and I've never been much of a tech oriented. I'm definitely more of a musician that's
just get some stuff done.
Yeah, and to me, this place is all about the songs and the experience and being creative and just trying to push yourself than it is, we've got some fun equipment, but it's really if the song isn't there or just the passion isn't there, it's just not going to work.
So far, just from me being here, and hopefully the video can capture this, I love this studio. It's a simple studio, but it's what I would have done, and I think maybe Greg and I are on the same wavelength as far as like kind of some of the stuff we like, and which is cool. And so I appreciate Greg doing this. So if you have a chance, come check out Pale Horse Sound. People can probably come and schedule a tour if they want.
Just hit me up. You can message me on Facebook or go to the website. You can call me and just come by sometime. Just call me or text me so you know I'm here. Because our schedule's pretty crazy these days. But we come by, check it out. We like visitors, so cool. If you're thinking about it, just come in.
Yeah, he welcomed me, and I don't really know why, but whatever. Anyway, so Greg, thanks, dude.
Yeah, thank you.
Make sure, yeah, brother. Haven't seen him forever. I mean,
It's been a while.
We go back. And so, if you like the videos, subscribe, leave comments, questions about any kind of audio thing. If Greg can answer them, if I can answer them, whatever.
Hit us up.
But yeah, Utah music producers. So, thanks for watching. See ya.